Good evening, brothers and sisters. You're listening to New Kemet Rebirth Radio. I am Nova Atertisha Makafele, and tonight I have the divine pleasure of introducing one of my closest sisters, one of the sisters that I know that will bring it, that her show will become one of the most prolific shows here on the New Kemet Radio waves. This is dedicated to you listeners. Very informative, lots of information, things that will bring you higher in your development, wisdom, and consciousness. New Kemet would like to introduce Sister Yaffa Bay, author of Piercing the Fog, Enlightened Luminaries. She's a community activist, and in my eyes, heart and mind, has always been a world changer and wanted the highest good for her people. So please, brothers and sisters, let's give our divine sister much energy and just continue blessings to her show and what she's bringing, what she's giving to us these evenings. She's going to be on every Thursday at this time. The time won't change. Every Thursday, American Empire Restored with Sister Yaffa Bay. Let's get her on the line. Yes.
I had not committed to every Thursday yet. I told you it depends on how today goes. I was thinking more the last Thursday of every month because I don't think there's anything in the world that I have to say that anyone wants to hear every single Thursday. But we'll see. We'll see how the audience feels about it and what sort of response that we get. And then I guess
it's your world, sister. We're gonna do whatever it is that you want to do whenever you want to come on. That's fine. But I said it as every Thursday because I'm in opposition to what you're saying. I feel like it because everything is changing. There's always issues and new things to be addressed, and you had the tendency of putting everything in the proper perspective. So anyway. It's all yours, sister. We love you. We love you here.
I love you too, sweetie pie. I really, really do. I just want to start out by saying thank you to everyone that took the time out of their busy schedules to listen in, especially at such a very late hour. I wanted, there was a lot I wanted to cover this evening, and I kind of changed my mind, and I'm sort of changing it back, but the order of business is really to re-erect the American empire. And what I really want to cover is the 1828 American Dictionary of the English Language by Noah Webster, definition of nation and nationalized. Because apparently when I did an interview a week ago, one of the listeners who was watching the chat room, because when I do interviews, I do not monitor the chat room. I do not go online. I don't listen to what I'm saying because that type of thing will distract me. I just stay on my focus. So if no one says anything to me, I have no idea what's going on out there because, again, I'm just not out there like that. But I want to cover the words nation and nationalized because he said, Yaffa, there were lots of questions for you in the chat room that were never put to you, and I specifically saw one that stood out to me that basically said, Yaffa, should we nationalize? And before I answer that question, I'm going to give you the definition, and then I'm going to tell you, I'm going to answer the question now and then give you the definition so you know why I'm saying that. And I'm going to say the answer is absolutely no. The American empires, American people do not need to nationalize. We are already nationalized, and that is a part of the problem. Now listen to the 1828 dictionary. Now keep in mind, the American language, which is not quite the same as the English language, is a language that the people of the Americas were speaking, but the Europeans that came over here were speaking something else and had to create dictionaries not to understand their language, but dictionaries to understand our language. So the American English language is a combination. It started out as the American language that was amongst the dialects that was spoken here, but the Europeans also had to put their spin on it. But let's look at nation. Nation says a lot of things, but it is from the Latin word natio, spelled N-A-T-I-O, and please have a pencil and paper. When you're dealing with me, it's not a bad idea to have your own dictionary in front of you and or a pencil and paper. Natio is from natus, spelled N-A-T-U-S, which means born. And it's also nascor, N-A-S-C-O-R, and that means to be born. Now, there's a lot of things going on here in nation, but I want to get to the meat and potatoes of the definition. Nation says a body that has formerly been under a distinct government but has been conquered or incorporated within a larger nation. That's the 1828 definition of nation. Now, it goes on to say, nation, based on its etymological import, originally denoted a family or a race of men descended from a common progenitor and, like tribe, but by immigration, and this is an immigration with an E, that means people left from someplace and went someplace else, like the Europeans left from Europe and came to the Americas. That's the immigration with an E. So immigrate with an E means to leave, to exit. But by immigration, conquest, and intermixture of men of different families, this distinction is in most countries lost. So we were a nation that was distinct, but based on integration and all the intermixing and the interbreeding of race, genealogy and culture, or genetics and culture, we lost our nation status. Now, it's more important that I give you guys the 1828 dictionary definition of nationalize, because we don't necessarily want to do that. Now, if I can figure out where that is in this book, I had it underlined, and I should have left it on the page that it was on. Hold that thought.
Yeah, while you're searching for that, sister, we have
put in a plug for New Kemet School while I look this up.
Okay, we do have a few questions that we'll take a little later on after you get through.
No, we can take the question now. We can take the questions now.
Okay, that's fine. The first question is, this person has a U.S. passport, and they're asking if they needed to get a special passport. And they met Moores there in Chicago, and they said that the passport that they have presently is incorrect.
Okay, now that's a valid question. Let me say it like this. In this movement of the awakening of our people, people are at various levels. Equate it with being in school. You have some people that are in the 12th grade. You have some people that are in the 9th grade. You have some people that are in the second grade. Some people are in kindergarten. Some people are in preschool. These individuals that advise people to go out and do things like get rid of your passport and get rid of your Social Security number, and you should quit your job, and can't get rid of this, that, and the other. All that's fine and dandy for those people that have reached that point, but everybody's not there yet, and everybody's not ready yet. Some individuals have children, they have mortgages, they have car notes, they have jobs, they have 501ks where their monies are invested, they have stock in these companies, and they have a vested interest, unfortunately, in the system that helps to subjugate our people. Now, this is fabulous that people want us to totally separate and step out of the system, but my question to those individuals is, what do you have better for me to step into? There are only a couple of people that are really working on setting up something for our people to step into right now, and I would say you can look at two nations, and I'm going to say this. I wouldn't step into either one of them totally without, one, getting clarity on what it is you're asking me to do, What are you saying to me when you say get out of the system? If I get out, where do I go? And if I'm going somewhere, I want to see where you have for me to go and what you have set up there prior to my departure. Do you understand? Do not get rid of things that are going to destroy you, and you find yourself out there on your backside, and these very people that advised you to turn your life upside down have nothing in place to catch you when you fall. Does that answer that question?
As far as
Meaning,
I can,
where
as
do you have to go? Huh? Is that the question? Because I was gonna elaborate, but if you have another question or a counter to the question.
That was the question.
As far as I
can
see,
we have a caller as well.
Okay, hold that caller's thought. As far as I can see, a lot of people are setting up things on the paperwork level, and that is important. Everyone is moving the way they should be moving. What we're going to have to do is stop beating up everyone else that's not moving where we're moving, the way that we're moving and doing what we're doing. We're all at different levels, and we're all going to the same place on different routes. If I'm coming from California and you're coming from Detroit and someone else is coming from Utah, if we're all trying to get to San Francisco, we're all going to get to San Francisco, but the route that you take from New York or Detroit is going to vary from the route that I take from Southern California, which is going to be totally different from the route someone takes from Utah. So don't get angry with people because they're not on the roads that you're on and utilizing the same map that you're reading. Okay, now go ahead with the caller.
Okay, well, I was just informed